There have been plenty of dangerous players in Madden. Quarterbacks with cannon arms, receivers who caught everything, running backs who could break 12 tackles while carrying 3 defenders and somebody's emotional support linebacker. But in 2003, EA Sports created something completely different. They created a monster. His name was Michael Vick. And before Madden put him on the cover, he was already doing things that NFL quarterbacks were not supposed to do. He could launch a football downfield with the casual effort of somebody throwing their keys on the counter. And if nobody was open, he would just take off running. That was usually when the defensive coordinator would reconsider his career and life choices. In 2002, Vick threw for 2,900 yards and 16 touchdowns. He also rushed for 777 yards. He made his first Pro Bowl and helped Atlanta reach the playoffs. And then the Falcons traveled to Green Bay and handed Brett Favre the first ever home playoff loss of his career at Lambeau Field in January. So apparently, Michael Vick didn't respect weather, history, or property lines either. So all that being said, EA Sports decided he was the perfect athlete for the cover of Madden 2004. And this is where I enter the story. What in the hell? I guess I'll see you guys in a while. Don't forget to like and subscribe.
EA Sports sent his file to my office. I opened it. Michael Vick, quarterback, Atlanta Falcons. Speed rating, 95. Throw power, 98. I immediately called the ratings department. I said, clearly there's been a clerical error. You peasants have given the quarterback the speed of a wide receiver and the arm strength of a Patriot missile. They assured me the ratings were accurate. So I loaded the game myself. Michael Vick in 2004 was not a quarterback. He was a cheat code wearing shoulder pads. You could call the wrong play, miss every read, run backwards for 15 yards, escape for a defender, circle the stadium twice, stop for nachos, and still score a touchdown. There was no defensive strategy. There was only acceptance. Entire friendships were destroyed because somebody selected the Atlanta Falcons. Controllers were thrown, family members stopped speaking, and living rooms became active crime scenes. I submitted an official complaint. My requested solution was simple. Reduce the speed rating. They denied it. Reduce the throw power. Denied. Make him slightly tired after running backwards for 80 yards. Denied. So I was forced to explore alternative solutions. Now I want to be very clear. I am not a bad guy. I just have a bad job. And I did not request a serious injury. The official paperwork says temporary reduction in unnecessary quarterback mobility. That could have meant anything. A pulled muscle, a stubbed toe, maybe his shoe falls off, maybe he trips over a crease in the turf. But on August 16th, 2003, only days after Madden NFL 2004 reached the stores, the Falcons played a preseason game against the Baltimore Ravens. Preseason. A collection of games where the results do not count, but apparently the injuries do. Early in the game, Vick dropped back to pass. Baltimore linebacker Darius Thomas comes around the edge. Vick did what Vick does and tried to escape. Thomas caught him from behind, and Michael Vick fractured his right fibula. That was more mobility reduction than I requested. The most dangerous quarterback in football had been injured during a game that did not matter. Atlanta originally hoped he might return after approximately 6 weeks. He did not. Vick missed the first 11 games in the regular season, and without him, the Falcons' offense went from must-see to something playing quietly in the waiting room at your local tire shop. Doug Johnson started most of those games, and the Falcons kept losing most of those games. And by the time Michael Vick returned, Atlanta's season was circling the drain with one shoe missing. The Falcons had reached the playoffs the previous season, and in 2003, they finished 5-11. And suddenly, people started using two words that would follow Madden covers forever. The curse. Me. They wanted to blame me. Naturally, everybody blamed me. Nobody blamed the preseason. Nobody blamed the offensive line. Nobody blamed the ratings department for creating a quarterback capable of escaping federal custody. They blamed me, the Madden Curse. But was Michael Vick really cursed? Let's review the evidence. He appeared on the Madden cover. He received historically ridiculous ratings. He missed most of the season, and his team collapsed. That is not circumstantial evidence. That is a completed application. Curse confirmed. But I learned an important lesson from Michael Vick. You never ask Supernatural Resources Department for a minor mobility adjustment. We simply do not understand moderation. And Michael Vick was only the beginning, because our next cover athlete looked directly at me and said, "I do not believe you exist." Challenge accepted. Donovan McNabb should have kept that information to himself.